Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to our first ever Zoom recorded meeting. My name is Veda and I'll be leading us through all of our meetings and recordings this semester as well as next semester. If you missed the meeting, don't worry, that's what these recordings are for. I'm basically going to go over everything we talked about, so I'll get you right up to date. Let's get started. So what we're going to talk about today is what is Global Brigades? How does UVic support the organization? What does it mean to get involved? We did a little get to know each other in our Zoom call. I'll still introduce all the exec members, but we won't have that interactive icebreaker, obviously. And finally, we'll talk about some upcoming meetings and fundraisers. So what is Global Brigades? Global Brigades is a relatively new organization that started with a group of students just like ourselves in 2003 when Marquette University had their first brigade. This was a trip which was just providing medical relief, but they realized that health is a multifaceted problem and their lasting impact was extremely limited. So from there, GB was born and they're going to try and change some of the systemic problems of poverty. Today, Global Brigades is comprised of volunteers from US, Canada, Europe, and the programs take place in Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, Ghana, as well as Greece, which is a new addition. So Global Brigades is connected with the whole complete system, approaching a problem from many different angles. They focus on the whole picture rather than just analysis and treatment of specific parts. The main focus of Global Brigades is sustainable development. And the way that this is approached is using their holistic model, which I'm going to go into next. The holistic model is essentially 6 main development steps for a community to take. It starts with health to collect initial data about the unique needs and problems within the community, then moves to preventative health measures, and finally the economic development so communities can sustain themselves. The model is centered around partnerships to allow a community to meet their individual needs. Prior to any development, a relationship must be built with the community members, and they must be willing to be actively involved in every step of the way so that when Global Brigades is no longer needed, the community is able to continue on themselves. The brigades are really the drivers of change to individual programs of this holistic model. The programs run year-round by local staff, but the brigades are who contribute volunteers and resources, which is essentially the main source of funding for this organization. The ultimate goal of Global Brigades is to create empowered communities in which hands-on help is no longer needed. Once a community reaches this point, they're not lost from the radar. They still receive support as needed and regular check-ins. As of right now, Global Brigades has 13 empowered communities, which is really amazing to think about. So Empowered 100, you'll see around throughout the semester. What it is one of Global Brigade's goals to empower 100 communities by 2022. There are 3 phases for accomplishing this goal. The first is implementing healthcare, and this is where our medical and dental brigades come in. The second is through WASH, which puts into play water, sanitation, hygiene, and then finally economic development, which is where our microfinancer, at UVic, our business brigade comes in. Empowered 100 goals align with 6 of the 17 United Nations goals for sustainable development, 3 of which we'll see are primary goals of GB and the other 3 are secondary. So the holistic model aligns well with 3 of these goals specifically as their primary goals, like I just mentioned. The 3 primary ones are number 3, good health and well-being, number 6, clean water and sanitation, and number 8, decent work and economic growth. So these sustainable development goals created by the United Nations in 2015 were made to reduce the health and economic disparities in the world by 2030. So Global Brigades goes off some of these goals as their main and secondary ones. So now the exciting part, Global Brigades at UVic. Here at UVic, we've been working alongside Global Brigades since 2008. Over these past years, we've sent 25 brigades, which includes over 515 volunteers. In this time, we've had different kinds of chapters at UVic, including water and public health in the past, and the medical, dental, business, and engineering remain active today. So currently UVic has business, medical, dental, and engineering brigades or chapters. But a big thing that I want to emphasize is that you don't need to be majoring in any of these specific areas to join. There's really, as long as you have an interest to help people, I mean, you'll definitely fit in. So in the last year, the medical brigade was in El Tablon, and we served 773 patients at the clinic, 669 which were medical, 117 which were dental. And we also created 1,200 hygiene packs to give out to the community members. With our business brigade in their first year, not last year, but the year before, they consulted with 5 businesses. And our engineering brigade, which began last year, had 1 new water system design and 1 community follow-up assessment. So how do you get involved with GB, or what does it mean to be involved? There are many different ways to be involved. This year it's a little bit different because of our current pandemic. However, we ask that you attend bi-weekly meetings, which are going to be online via Zoom for now. Maybe in the future we'll have in-person ones, but for now, yeah, it's going to be online. If you can't attend, read the meeting minutes and watch these recordings like you are right now. And then also it's really good to just follow us on social media because all of our information is going to be posted up there. Attend fundraisers, which we are ensuring are COVID friendly. Share our Facebook posts, make sure your friends see them and join the club. Tell your friends about GB, attend monthly volunteer nights, which we'll hear more about in the future, and then come on telebrigade because we aren't going on a physical brigade this year due to the pandemic again, but there is an opportunity to do a telebrigade, which is next meeting on October 14th. So make sure to come to that and hear all about telebrigades. Okay, now I'm going to introduce you to the executive team. So for our campus chair, we have Cole. The goal of his position is to manage the executive board, oversee projects, relations, and brigade preparation, which will be telebrigade this year, while acting as the campus's direct link to the organization. So he communicates a lot with Global Brigades itself. Our business president, which is Sophie, our engineering co-presidents, which is Alan and Jess, and our medical president, which is Sam, they all, their goal as chapter presidents, so each of their own chapter, is to head each brigade. So it'll be a telebrigade this year, which means leading the recruitment for their chapter, planning alongside Global Brigades to prepare for the volunteer trip, and just overall organize their specific chapter. The education chair, which is me, I'm Veda. My position is to run these meetings, provide you guys with education links, try and just teach you a bit more about Global Brigades, as well as interact and support you guys. So if you ever need anything, feel free to message me. You'll see me on the Facebook page, Veda Smith. Don't be afraid to ask any questions or anything. I'm open to help. Our external relations chair, which is Brianna, has the goal to extend the outreach of our club and go further our engagement in the community. So she manages the social media, develops content for monthly newsletters, keeps the website up to date, and helps us better connect with our donors. And then we've got our co-fundraising chairs, which is Sierra and Zoe. They basically plan and organize all the fundraising events throughout the year, and everyone's role has really been changed by COVID, but them specifically are trying to put their heads together to figure out COVID-friendly fundraisers. So if you have any ideas, feel free to send us a message, but we'll talk about upcoming ones in a few minutes. And then lastly, our logistics chair, which is Sarah. Her goal is to manage our budget, keep track of finances, make sure everyone's meeting our deadlines for payments. Again, it's a bit different because we aren't booking flights or anything this year, but she definitely has a really important role. So we did a little activity over Zoom to get to know each other. It was a fun little icebreaker. Don't worry if you missed out because we will definitely do more in the future. So yeah, just make sure to come to the next meeting. So looking ahead, we've got our bi-weekly meetings, like I said. They're approximately going to be held every other week. For October, it's going to be the 2nd and the 4th week, which I believe is the 14th and the 28th, but you will see an update, so don't hold me to that. Our Zoom links are going to be available on social media as well as sent out through email. And yeah, as much as I would love for you to watch these recordings, it is really cool to come to the meeting and get to know each other a lot better. Upcoming fundraisers. So we have a bottle drive on the 17th, which you'll hear more about. I encourage you to sign up. Something we're going to talk about at next meeting on the 14th is our point system. So you do get points for coming to a fundraiser, which will end up going towards the cost of your trip. So by coming and helping the fundraiser and helping the club raise money, you will get money towards your own trip. So that's on the 17th. We have a scavenger hunt upcoming. The date is still to be determined, as well as we have a pumpkin carving contest. And I believe the submission, we just made the deadline to be October 31st. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're carving your pumpkin. Yeah, that's about it. So I have a question slide. If anyone has questions from this little recording, please don't be afraid to either message me directly, message our Global Brigades Instagram, Facebook, or just email us. So yeah, our next meeting is going to be on October 14th, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Keep checking into our Facebook page to see updates. But yeah, I hope to see you on next Wednesday, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.